Now let's go on to complex rational algebra expressions. So when you have numerator and denominator, both of them are rational algebra expressions, so that would be called complex rational algebra expressions. Okay, for example, you have here a over b all over c over d. Okay, so your numerator is a over b and your denominator is c over d. So what are you going to do with this is simplify into simpler rational algebra expressions. So this becomes, okay, that would be a over b expressed into division form, divided by, since that bigger or longer horizontal line there, that means to say that's division, divided by c over d. And then you express into multiplication. That would be a over b, dividend, just copy, and then from division change into multiplication, then reciprocal of your divisor, that becomes d over c. So this becomes a times d, that's ad, over b times c, that is bc, where b and c must not equal to 0. Why? If b or c are or is equal to 0, that means to say that becomes undefined. Now let's have examples. Okay. Simplify the following. Complex RAA. Okay, let's have your fraction first. So you have your 3 over 5 plus 1 over 5 all over 4 over 7 minus 1 over 7. Okay, you may simplify first the numerator and the denominator. So this becomes 3/5 plus 1/5. So since they are similar fractions, so you can add them directly. So that becomes 5. The denominator copy. Then 3 plus 1, that would be 4. Over denominator, they are also similar fractions, so you can subtract them directly. Just copy the denominator 7, then subtract the numerator 4 minus 1, that is 3. And then you simplify, you express into division form. So 4 over 5 divided by 3 over 7 equals to, change into operation, change into multiplication. So copy the dividend, change the division operation to multiplication, then reciprocal of your divisor, which becomes 7 over 3. Okay, 4 and 3, there are no common factors. The same with 5 and 7, so that means to say you just multiply. 4 times 7, that is 28. And then 5 times 3, that is 15. Okay, that is the simplified form of the given complex rational algebra expressions. Now, I'm going to give you another example. Let's have your number 2. You have your 2 over a minus 3 over b all over 5 over b plus 6 over a squared. Okay. So class, as I've said, we simplify the numerator and denominator first. So for your numerator, since they are dissimilar RAs, so you look for their LCD, which is AB minus AB. So AB divided by A, LCD divided by the existing denominator, AB divided by A, that is B times 2, that is 2B. Then AB divided by B, that is a, times 3, that is 3a. Okay, the same with denominator. B, you have the 5 over b plus 6 over a squared. They are also dissimilar fraction. RA is. So, you look for the LCD, which is a squared b. Okay? You change into, so you change it into LCD, so meaning to say you have also a new numerator. So, a squared b divided by b, that would be a squared, times 5, that would be 5a squared. And then the same thing, a squared b divided by a squared, that is b, times 6, that is 6b. Okay? So, simplify. This would be ab, copy the denominator. You have there 2b minus 3a. Since 2b and 3a are unlike terms. The same with denominator, you have there a squared b. Just copy the numerator since there is no like terms. Okay. And then express into division form. So this becomes 2b minus 3a over ab. And then divided by 5a squared plus 6b over a squared b. And then you express into multiplication form. So that becomes 2b minus 3a over ab times a squared b over 5a squared plus 6b. Okay. Now, you look for their GCMF or common factors. So, for this, for numerator 2b minus 3a versus 5a squared plus 6b, there is no common factors. So, how about the other pair? The denominator ab and the numerator a squared b. There is, which is, for a, their GCMF is a. So, a divided by a, that's 1. A squared divided by a, that is a. B, of course, you can cancel that out because they are the same. So, meaning, the final answer would be a times 2b minus 3a over 1. It's just it cannot affect the number that is being multiplied. So, 1 times 5a squared plus 6b is just 5a squared plus 6b. Okay. Remember, class, there are many students who will just cancel this out like this. Oh, okay, I can cancel this out, ma'am, because they're a or this b. Okay, class, that is wrong. Okay, remember, that is wrong. You cannot, because this 2b minus 3a is binomial. So, when you factor 2b minus 3a, you factor that out with the same binomial also. Okay. So, this is the final answer for this second example. Okay, now let's have third example. So, as you can see here, for numerator, c over c squared minus 4 minus c over c minus 2. They are dissimilar RAE. So, meaning you need to get their LCD. But notice, for c squared minus 4, that's factorable. That is difference of two squares. So you factor that out so that it's easy for you to find the LCD. That would be c plus 2 and c minus 2. Okay. Minus c over c minus 2. Okay, here also for denominator, of course, 1 over c plus 2, when you add that by 1, you look for LCD. The LCD is, of course, c plus 2. It's very easy because it's added. Okay, so if you have here c plus 2 divided by 1, that is c plus 2 times 1, still c plus 2. Class, use the logic c plus 2 divided by c plus 2, that's just 1. And here, c plus 2 divided by c plus 2, that is 1 times 1, 1. Okay, for the numerator. So, you have there. So, common is c minus 2. Not common, copy c plus 2. So, that would be LCD. So, c minus 2, then c plus 2. Say, divide this c minus 2 times the quantity of c plus 2 divided by this c plus 2 times the quantity of c minus 2. That is 1. Since you can cancel them out. Then, so times 1, that's 1 times c, that's c. Okay, then here, c minus 2 divided by, c minus 2 times the quantity of c plus 2 divided by c minus 2. So, you can cancel that c minus 2. So, the remaining is, or the quotient is c plus 2 times c. Okay, for denominator, you can add c plus 2, copy the denominator, and then you add c, there is no like term, so c, 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so for this, you can subtract directly. C minus 2, then c plus 2. So, c minus c times c, that is c squared. 2 times c, that is 2c. Okay. Over c plus 3 over c plus 2. That's equal to so here c, okay, c minus 2 times c plus 2. So c, so start with negative c squared, or in order to arrange directly. So since there is no common or like term for c squared, that becomes negative c squared. Then c minus 2c, that's negative c. So here, you have c plus 3 over c plus 2. Okay, let's continue here. Okay, express that into multiplication, division form. So, negative c squared minus c over c minus 2 c plus 2 divided by c plus 3 over c plus 2. And then you express into multiplication over c minus 2 c plus 2 times reciprocal c plus 2 over c plus 3. So now, common factor is c plus 2, this. So, cancel. And then, there's nothing else. So, the final answer would be negative c squared minus c all over the quantity of c minus 2 multiplied by the quantity of c plus 3. Okay, there is no common factors class, so meaning that is a simplified form or simplified answer. So that would be the final answer. It's it for complex rational algebraic expressions. Please subscribe for more video lessons. God bless.